for putting some finer points on the crisis that we're in and also highlighting the economic impact. I want to stay on that point because there seems to always be a narrative that's out there. And a lot of times people buy into the narrative. The reality is, as Director Patton said, these are people who are actually working. So when they say, oh, they just don't need to go get a job, these are people who are working. I want that to be the big headline. These are people who are working. That means they're paying taxes and they're busting their butt every day trying to provide for them, for their families. This is grandma and granddad who has been working, who had to retire and was hoping that they could retire in peace, but now can't get anything to eat because they got to make a decision on do they go get the medicine or do they go and get something to eat. This is huge. Then there is an economic benefit. We say we want to support small businesses and retailers and everything. This is important because you talked about $300 million that has the impact that we have here. We're talking about 10,000 almost retailers in all of Ohio. That's just Ohio. So they're making money. When they come in there with that card and buy the food, they're not walking out with free food. The food is paid for to the retailers. That's Kroger's and everybody else who are making money. And it's part of their business model, I would imagine. And if you take those dollars out of their financial model, their financial deck, then the prices got to go up. This also affects the farmers that are out there. You talked about farmers market, the little small farmers markets that are out there in our communities, which we have tried to work together with Free Store Food Bank to get rid of these food deserts throughout Hamilton County. This affects the grocery store that just went into Avondale, that they said we need to put one in Avondale, a grocery store, African American grocery store. They went through all of the hoops to finally be able to accept the SNAP benefits, and I think they just got approved. And that's part of their business model, to be able to stay in Avondale where they had a food desert. You also made the point, we can't just food pantry our way out of this. Everybody said, oh, just get a food pantry. We only can go so far. Food pantry was just a stopgap. It was not meant to be the grocery store. But we've done a lot with food pantry, as was said today. As a county, we put a lot of money in food pantry, almost $3 million, not, just recently. And we're going to put some more because we said we've got to have at least the stopgap to try to save people. You were very active during COVID. I saw people pulling up who never would come to the Free Store Food Bank. In fact, you talked to me because I joined with you on this End World Hunger. I'm on this mission with you. But you mentioned a man who came down, was well off, was always donating, always volunteering, and one day came down with his son. He said, are we here to volunteer? He said, no, son. Unfortunately, we're here because we need some food. And he had tears in his eyes because he didn't want to have to need the help. So those are some important points. On top of this SNAP piece, we have federal workers who's working every day who are not working. Their money just stopped. Many are working without being paid. Now, that used to be called something else. That's why we got the Freedom Center. They're working with no paycheck. And things are racking up. So everything that you mentioned, I want to make sure we put a fine point on it. Now, going to the next part, we got the economic impact. So these are folks that are making an economic impact. These are the folks that's keeping the grocery stores open, keeping the small retail stores open. These are the people that helping keep the farmers markets going. And then we also are people who are working every day, paying taxes because they're taking it out the check. The fourth thing, though, I want to highlight is the fact of private investment. Everybody is not broke. Because when I read these stories, a football coach, now he wasn't in our city, he ran out of here and ran to another school. But I saw where he is he got fired and they gonna buy him out. And they said, well, how are you gonna pay for him? They said there has been a large confidential donor that's gonna pay him tens of millions of dollars for being fired playing not winning games at football. So the money's out there. Then at the same time we got no snap. At the same time there's a ballroom. I saw some tearing down over on the White House lawn. And they got a ballroom they claim is $300 million. And then they got 37 people that said they can come up with $300 million. We need $240 million so we can feed thousands of kids and babies and senior citizens and folks that work every day. We need $240 million. The ballroom is $300 million. And 37 people said we'd come up with it at no blink of an eye. So we do need private folks to step up. The money is out there. But unfortunately, we're creating a society of the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots, they're trying to grow it. Middle class, I don't care if you're working, we're going to make you the have-nots. You've been working with the federal government, you're middle class, you've been able to buy a house, take care of your kids, we're going to make you the have-nots. You've been a senior citizen, you done worked your butt off, you trying to retire, but everything going up, we're going to put you over in the have-nots. You a college student, done come out, got all this debt on your back, we're going to put you over on the have-nots. The have-nots is growing, but then we get the football coach who, left here. Glad we not paying for him, but he ran down to another school, and all of a sudden, the haves can come up with the money to pay him to get out of there because he ain't winning the game. But we don't have the money to help somebody go to school or be elementary school and preschool. They can't get nothing to eat, not a sandwich or anything. We have put them in the have-not category and say we don't care about them. What kind of society are we becoming? And then we got a $300 million ballroom with 37 people said they can come up with the money like that. So we are calling on the private sector that's out there, that has the money that can do it like that, to step up for humanity. This ain't a Democrat or Republican issue. When you're hungry, they don't care who you are. You just you ain't got nothing to eat. I need a snap of these billionaires and gazillionaires, the ones that can fund the ballrooms and can fund the coaches being fired, to step up to help us. Because all we need, when you look at the money now, all we need is $240 million. And we can save a society. So thank you, Kurt, for bringing up those points. Right now we got a Band-Aid. We're going to put a little Band-Aid on it. We're going to try to do our part. We've asked the administration to comb everything. JFS, look at everything, every program, everything we got, because we got to help save and stabilize until we get through this rocky time. So thank you very much, and I look forward to it. I know we're going to have some things with the 513 relief bus. We've been doing some things, but we got to step up even more with this mobile unit, with your mobile unit, and be able to get people information and connect them to resources. So thank you.
And I just want to call out Michael Patton and his team at JFS, because they have been wonderful partners of ours, have really stepped up with us and allowed us to do the impact we have. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Kurt.
Just 1 second, please. I have one other comment.